Now to another special we have for you today. Bajaj Auto, one of India's top two-wheeler manufacturer, is expected to announce acquisition of European high-performance motorcycle brand Ducati. Now, when the company's annual meet was held in the last few days, Rajiv Bajaj, the MD of Bajaj Auto Ltd, told shareholders that they are planning to settle a new alliance. He also mentioned that if things go as planned, an official declaration will be made within 2 weeks. About a month ago, it was reported that Harley-Davidson and Bajaj were in talks with Volkswagen Group to take accession of its Audi-controlled Ducati motorbike brand. Reports also said that Indian manufacturers, including Hero MotoCorp and Royal Enfield, and some other prominent groups are also bidding for its position. A recent update confirms that Italy's Benetton family have also decided to make a move to once again bring Ducati motorbikes to Italian soil. Meanwhile, an Italian news agency reported that KTM, 48% of whose equity stakes are owned by Bajaj Auto, is closing in on Ducati brand. It will be interesting to see whether or not the Ducati brand performs well with the Indian automaker if the position is concluded successfully. So clearly, an alliance or a deal brewing in a global auto world where an Indian bike maker is planning to buy Italian sports bike maker. And to talk more on this, I'm joined by the auto expert and motorcycle critics here with me, Sopan Sharma. Very good evening to you, Sopan. First of all, how likely do you think that Bajaj would finally be able to get hold of Ducati?
Most of it, of course, still is speculation. It's just hinging on that one paragraph that Rajiv Bajaj has said. But in terms of the likelihood, of course, Bajaj has the cash reserves to actually be able to make this takeover. It also comes with a lot of experience, having turned the fortunes of KTM around over the last couple of years. So the likelihood is great. The way the brand synergies match for the two brands is also very interesting. Amongst all the names that have floated around until now, be it Harley-Davidson, be it Royal Enfield, be it the Polaris Group, in my opinion, the synergy between Bajaj and Ducati would be the most interesting.
So again, we would like to know from your side, what synergies could be there? What could be the positioning of Ducati? Because Bajaj, as we know, the bikes range from commuter segment to higher CC segment. But till that far, like going up to 10 lakh, 12 lakh, how does that fit into the scheme of things for Bajaj Auto?
Looking at the direction that Bajaj Auto has taken over the last couple of years, it's quite clear that the company does not want to restrict itself to India, to the commuter motorcycle game here. The company definitely has global ambitions. And with respect to that, Ducati is right up there. At the top of the brand list, one of the most desired motorcycle brands. The kind of exposure this will give to Bajaj and the way it will propel Bajaj to become a global motorcycle player. That's the most interesting thing.
A question comes to my mind, Sopan, that why not other automakers, including India's Hero Moto, also Royal Enfield, with which also Ducati fit in very well going forward? Because Ducati, like motorcycle makers, they don't go for selling or they don't go for this kind of auction very often. So what is there that why aren't the other automakers going for it? Why only Bajaj Auto?
As far as the Indian bike makers are concerned, there has been a lot of action of late. Royal Enfield seems to have its own plans, future models coming in, new models to take care of right now. Hero MotoCorp seems to have its plate full as well. I don't know in terms of marketing what these companies are looking at. But as of now, Bajaj still seems the most likely candidate and the best fit for this acquisition.
Give us a sense of the journey of Ducati so far. What is happening with the Italian sports bike maker currently? How is it performing?
So the last 4 or 5 years have been extremely progressive for Ducati. Before that, it was known to be a very exotic sort of a brand, making very high-end machines. A lot of inspiration from the race circuit, a lot of motorcycles that actually came from the circuit. Over the last 5 or 8 years, it has dropped the price barrier. It has dropped the entry point into the Ducati family with motorcycles like the Scrambler, with motorcycles like the smaller monsters. Apart from that, it has also shown great interest in manufacturing in Asia, supplying to the ASEAN countries, getting the cost benefit of that. So all of these have been extremely progressive moves from an erstwhile legendary European bike maker. Most of them tend to stay stuck in their rut But Ducati has shown great promise over the last 5 or 6 years.
Okay, but we all know that Indian two-wheeler makers, they lack technology somewhere. Though Bajaj has been quite lucky because earlier they had tied up with Kawasaki, then KTM came in. What kind of technological advantage will Bajaj have after Ducati is under its fold?
As of now, I'm not seeing a lot of product overlaps because the smallest motorcycle that Ducati makes is still much larger than the largest motorcycle that Bajaj makes. I also don't know if Bajaj would be interested in learning from Ducati and using that for Bajaj branded products, the way it has already done with KTM. For example, the 390 Duke and the Bajaj Dominar share a lot of components together, share almost the entire bottom end of the engine. I'm not seeing that kind of an overlap between Bajaj and Ducati as of now. I think it would be best if Bajaj leaves this brand alone, allows it to function the way it has been functioning until now, because the fundamentals that it's been working on are very, very different to what the kind of business that Bajaj has been involved in until now.
And Supan, also give us a sense of what Bajaj is up to in the Indian market. Though it was a leader in scooter segment earlier with Hamara Bajaj and all, then it finally completely shunned its scooter program, and there were rumors that it's coming to scooter market once again. So do you think that after Ducati comes in, it will completely shun the commuter segment, not having plans to come to scooter markets once again?
I think it's very difficult to be an Indian bike maker, to have this kind of service and showroom network in India and not be involved in the commuter space. But that's only looking at the Bajaj motorcycles. The moment you start speaking about KTMs, the moment you start speaking about Ducatis, the game is really different there. So, but again, as I said, Bajaj is clearly a motorcycle maker with global ambitions. And when it comes to thinking of it from that perspective, Ducati is certainly looking as a very valuable property for Bajaj.
And $1 billion question, though speculative, if Bajaj takes over Ducati and it starts assembling Ducati in India, will it be easier and cheaper to buy Ducati? Will the prices come down? Have you seen that happening in past when Indian automakers have gone and acquired other brands?
No, absolutely. And the best case in example is KTM. The Duke and the RC 125, 250 and 390s are being made in India. They are available in India cheaper than anywhere else in the world, even though the same motorcycles manufactured in Chakan are being exported all over the world.
That's a good news though for Indian customers. But we have seen that Tata Motors, after acquiring Jaguar Land Rover, that would more or less happen in the case of Bajaj Auto also. They've kept JLR as a complete different brand. They have not assimilated any of the qualities of Jaguar Land Rover into Tata cars, not in a big way. And prices also haven't come down, substantially. Do you think that can also happen, one of the possibilities when Bajaj take over Ducati?
I absolutely see that happening. There are very nice parallels between the way Tata acquired Jaguar Land Rover, turned it into a profitable company. Bajaj has done something very similar with KTM over the last couple of years. KTM is now the biggest motorcycle maker in Europe. I see no reason why Bajaj won't be able to do the same with Ducati. That being said, Ducati is already a brand that is well on its way. It's bringing in good numbers. It's looking progressive. It's looking at the next 10-20 years from its product portfolio point of view.
And also, do you think that somewhere Rajiv Bajaj's experience in handling the European bike makers, including KTM and all, that will also count somewhere while this deal is currently going on, the talks are on, and will he be able to clinch the deal out of the hands of other players like Benetton and other automakers that are also interested in buying Ducati?
Well, I certainly hope so, because the ramifications of that are very interesting. Bajaj is a manufacturer that's looking to scale up to get into the higher levels of global motorcycling. Ducati over the last 5 years or so has been scaling kind of down, bringing in smaller models, choosing to manufacture in Asia to bring the price barrier down. So both of them are looking like very interesting divergent, converging points, and I hope that happens soon.
And also give us a sense of Indian superbike market. How big is that, and what kind of customers are preferring superbikes in India?
As of now, it's a really small market. Most major manufacturers from around the world, from Japan, from Europe, from America, are now present in India. They're trying to expand their dealer and service networks. it's still a small market. It's still a small chunk. The advantages that Bajaj's acquisition of Ducati might bring, the ramifications are more global than local. Ducati is doing what it is doing in India anyway, and it's going up its easy pace. The entire superbike market in India is increasing at a fairly leisurely pace, and I think that's likely when you're looking at a market that's very cost sensitive.
Last question to you. What does your experience say? Is this deal going to happen? And if yes, how soon and from where Bajaj will get all the money to buy this? And won't it be a drag on Bajaj's balance sheet if it pays more than it should? As far valuations are concerned, we estimate Bajaj might have to pay more than $1 billion to buy Ducati.
As far as the bean counters are concerned, of course, I'm not the expert, but the voice on the street definitely is that most enthusiasts would really like for this to go ahead, simply because there's a lot of synergy between the way Bajaj looks at motorcycles and also the way Ducati looks at motorcycles. I think it will be very easy for the two companies to understand each other, where they're coming from. And that's my biggest reason for hoping that this acquisition actually goes through.
Okay, and so you are hopeful that finally when this happens, Ducati will be assembled in the Pune plant of Bajaj Auto. And also, while exports will be made, exports will be quite competitive as well, because Bajaj has expertise in in producing bikes like the KTM we have seen at much cheaper cost.
As of now, I don't think Bajaj would like to look at an India assembly, because the Chakan plant already, I think, is running more or less at full capacity with the KTMs that it's making for the whole world. Also, presence in Asia for Ducati is more or less sorted because of its Thai plant, which is dealing out a lot of interesting motorcycles, including the Scrambler, the Monsters. The Multistrada is getting made in Thailand. So I doubt if we're looking at either assembly or manufacture for Ducati in India anytime soon. I think it will stay at Borgo Panigale and in Thailand. But even that gives a lot of strategic advantage to Bajaj.
All right, Supan, thank you for getting us all these details and giving us such an important update. Whether Bajaj will buy Ducati or not, but we have given you a complete lowdown on what is going to happen in case they buy or in case they don't buy.